Hello, good evening everyone. Am I audible and visible? You can just type a message in the chat box. Yeah, thanks. Okay, it's 6, so we'll just start. So, good evening everyone. Welcome to Data Science for Engineers. Um, and I'll be your TA for this course in this semester. My name is Saladi Pravalika. I'm a PhD student at Indian Institute of Science, IISc Bangalore. So I'll be your TA for this course in this semester. And before we get started, I would like to inform you some instructions. So first of all, this session is being recorded and this will be posted on YouTube as well. And do not unmute your mic in between the sessions. And please post your questions in the chat box. All the questions from the forum also will be answered at the end, and so are from the in-call messages. And yeah, some previous year questions will also be discussed at the end. And also, I would like to ask you guys at the end of the session, like if you want me to cover any more portion apart from whatever is discussed in my 2 hours per session. So kindly behave well during the class. Any person disturbing or disrespecting will be removed immediately. So also do not contact me personally. Any questions regarding the course you can ask in the forum, and I will definitely get back to you on that. Okay. So shall we start? Okay. So the first part of this week is to install R and R Studio. I hope no one is having any issues with that. You can just say yes or no in the chat box. Okay, I hope that there are no questions with installing R and R Studio. But in case if you have, please ask me at the end. I will definitely answer if you're having any questions. Okay, so um, yeah. And also, before asking in general questions, there is also a document with the name Common Questions that is also posted in NPTEL website. So you can refer to that as well. If your questions are not answered there, then you can definitely ask here. And all the questions related to installing will be answered at the end. I mean R and R Studios. Okay. So yeah, these are some of the things that I would like to cover for today. Okay, and these are taken from the course itself. So what are the objectives, the course outlines, and the outcomes of the courses? I hope you all have gone through all of these. And so let us try some hands-on sessions on our studios. Later we can discuss some example questions and questions from the forum. And apart from this, I would like to say after every half an hour I will give 5 minutes break, and after every 1 hour I would give 10 minutes break, so that it will be easy for you guys. Okay, so I'll present my entire screen now. Recording of this meeting will be the recording will be there, and we'll post it on YouTube, and you can see from there itself. Okay. I guess someone is having some issues. Yeah, I would stay back after the class, and I can help you with that as well. Okay, if you're having any questions. Okay. Let's go. So yeah, this is the interface of our studios. I hope everything is visible. Are you able to see the art studio? Okay, so yeah, this is the interface of our studio, and this is where you see the console. So here you can just give it like this, and you will get the values. So this is not something you store your code in, and this is called as the environment side. So in this environment, you will be able to look at all the variables or the list that you have initialized, and the values that it is storing. And yeah, and apart from that, at the bottom here you can find the files, the entire number of files in the directory. And if you are plotting some graph, you will be able to look at it here, and the packages that you are using or the packages that you are not using but are installed, these will be here. And if you are having questions, you can ask in the help here. So first I would like to start with how to use an R script. So at the top left here you can see a green plus icon, right, with a page. So that is a new file. If you click on that, you will see all these types, and just click on R script, and this is your R script place. Okay. So I would like to save this first. Okay. Select your location, whichever is needed for you, and just give any name to it. I would say first lecture dot r. Okay, so it will be saved, and once you have saved your file, you can go and save it. You can change your working directory in sessions. Go to sessions and go to set working directory, and then you can go to source file location. So this will automatically set your working directory to the folder where your file is saved. So my first lecture file is saved in this location. Now, if you want to do it manually, you can use this uh, word set wd, set work directory, and then open bracket, and you have to give your entire folder path. Okay, is this so far, is it clear? You can just raise a thumbs up if it's clear. Yeah, thanks. So here I would like, okay, you can initialize a variable in two different ways here. So I would like you, this is in general how we look at a equal to 3. So if I want to just run one single line, I'll take the shortcut control plus enter. Okay, if I just want to run only this one line, I would say control plus enter. Okay, so a equal to 3, and if you can see on the right side of the environment box, you can see what variable you have used and what is the value it is storing. So a is 3. So instead of this, I can also give it this way. So b less than and a minus symbol 3, and control plus enter, and that will also do the same thing. So equal to and assigning this value to this variable is also going to do the same. So uh, so this is about initializing in different ways. So instead I would like to open one recent file. So this is a file I have created earlier. Okay, I will save this file, and as well as this entire thing will be shared in a drive link, and that drive link I'll post it to you guys. So, so you keep an eye on the forum. Most probably I will post it there at least. Okay, or I can try to send it to everyone. Okay. Yeah. So initially I was saying how we initialize the values with A and B. So I like to discuss some data types in R as the same way. So here in num variable, I am going to save a decimal value 3.7. Yeah, okay. And a number 3.7 in the variable num. So so again, control plus enter, and the first line will be executed. with an echo. So the same name will also, the same line will also print in the console. And now here in the environments you can see 3.7 is assigned to none. So if I want to look at what type of value that is, then I can use the keyword type of and then give the variable in that, and that will turn out to be a double, since 3.7 is a double value. Let's try with an integer as well. So I'm storing 10 value in I, and then I'm asking what is the type of I, but still it is storing double. Any guesses why? You can type in chat box. Larger font. Okay, let me just get it. Is it okay now? No, doesn't run the particular line. For a single line, we usually use Control and Enter, and it should work. Okay, so that is what I'm doing so far. I'm not going to run the entire thing because I'm going line by line to explain, so I'm using this option. Or you can use this run option to and this as well, the source and source with echo. If you want something to print, you can go to this source option, and source with echo will print everything. But if you don't want print everything and you just want the code to run, then you can use this option, and the shortcuts are here. But if you want one single line, you can just go there and Control Enter, or you can use this option called run here. I hope I'm clear for that. Okay. So just increase a bit more in case. So try thinking why this is also showing that it's a double. We'll come back to it again. Okay. And apart from decimals and whole, like every C, C++, and Python, we also have the Boolean values in this. And let us also save true and false in TNF. And what is the type of T I have asked, and then I have got the answer as logical. Okay. So yeah. And then let's go for a string, and I'm storing hello string in ch keyword, and then I'm checking what is the class of ch and what is the type of ch. Both are the same. Okay, so in case if you are lost in between, if you want to read more about class and if you want to read more about type of, what you can do is you can go to the console here, you can type in a question mark and then write the keyword that you are not sure of. So let us say I'm not sure of class, then I'll just say that, and here I will be able to read about it. So what is this class keyword is all about. So how you can use it, what are the arguments in that which you can give, and everything detailed will be there. So this is something that I really like about R compared to Python. And apart from integers, boolean, and double and string and character, you can also store complex values in that. So in C now I am going to store a complex number 1 plus 2i, and then I want to look at what type of a class it is. So here it is giving me it as a complex value. Then if I look at the length, it is 1. Okay, so far. Then let's look at some basic arithmetic operations. First I'll go to 6 plus 2, and here I got the value 8. This also works without assigning this particular value. Just a second. I, I'll try to resolve it by next class. I'm not sure why there is a maximum participation limit. So yeah, I'll try to shift everything to teams, so there I don't think we'll necessarily have a participation limit. Okay. So it's not necessary to use this symbol instead of equal to. You can use both of them as I was telling earlier in the class. So you can use that or this. Both are acceptable. Okay. Okay, so you can also get these addition, subtraction, multiplications, and all of these basic operation methods without actually assigning it to some variable and then get the output. So you can just straight away give it in the code, or you can also write it here in the console. So let us say 5 plus 3 I would give, or 8 minus 7, anything I will be getting here. Okay, and multiplications, divisions, and exponents, and also modulo. Modulo means it returns the remainder of the value. So please note that we are using two percentage symbols, not one. Okay. So assigning the values, as I was saying earlier, you can either use this, or again I'll just repeat again, a1 equal to 5000. This also works, and this also works. Both of them actually works. Okay. And I'm assigning a different number to a different variable, and then instead I would try to subtract one variable value with another variable value, and then I will print the value to get whatever. So instead of actually writing print, you can also do it this way if you are going line by line, but instead you can also use the print function. Okay. So for example, hey, and yeah, now I'm storing 20 number in y variable, and I'll try to print it, and I'm going to get it. Okay, so here are some interesting functions. You can look at them through the help function again. So I'm going to show this again, a question mark, and you can paste the keyword that you want to look at, and here you will be able to read it. Okay, so here this is basically like you're having this one string, and you are having a second string. So now I want to print both of them, and here I haven't mentioned anything, even I'm just separating both of these. Is it okay now? Yeah. So instead I'm having one string here, hello, and another string students, and I'm separating both of them with a comma. But when I am running, I'll just get hello students. Okay, so basically this comma here is only dividing two strings, but it is not going to print. But if you want that to be printed, you have to use a separate function here as separator equal to, and whichever separator you want to use. Okay. So if you look at it now, see hello, comma, students, since I have used the separator function here. So to learn about this, you will have to look at the help, the documentation of paste. So in paste, they will show you what is the separator that you need to use, what are the other functions that you can also use within this, and all the arguments. Okay. So instead of comma, if I give a different, maybe a space, I'll get hello space students. Okay, so similarly you can do that, and this is a different function. You can also look at that. Okay, and yeah, if at all you want to give uh, these values separately, so this is basically how you use in Python and stuff. So you just have to mention percentage s for uh, a string and percentage f for a float number, and it will show you. So here if I'm giving Ashley here, Ashley is, and whichever value you're giving here, 5.1 feet tall. Okay, so here it is showing many zeros, so you have to look at that as well. Okay, someone has raised their hand. Do you want to talk or something? Okay, if something is important you can actually send a message in the chat. I didn't want unnecessary voices in between, so I had to disable the microphone. Okay. I hope this part is clear. Instead, if I want to use a different thing, I can also do that. Okay. So this percentage s is the placeholder for this particular string that I am inputting after the statement that I want to print. Paste function. Yeah, sure. Okay. So, okay. In paste, I am having two different strings. So if I want to print both the strings, I'm just separating both the strings with this separator comma. Okay, but this comma will not be printed if I just run it directly. Okay, so it is this paste is basically concatenating this string with this string, and with a separation, with a space as a separator in between both these strings. In case if I want a separator to also be printed, then I can use this particular function as I have to mention this argument separator equal to, and in within single quotes I have to give a comma. So if I run this now, I would get hello comma students instead of a space like earlier. Okay, and if I am giving space 0, then instead of having space I will not get any space at all. So 0 basically means no space here. Okay. Also, there are some built-in libraries that are in R. So if you go, sorry, where is this? If you go to tools at the top, you will look at the install packages. There you can actually write the package names that you want to be installed. So once you install the packages, for example, dataset here, it is already installed in mine. So I don't have to set. Okay. So you can install, and then once you install, you can load the library here with the name library. Yes, you can. You um, you can also print hello students without using the paste function. But in case if you want a different type of a separator for, let us say, 5 strings, you are having 5 strings and you want maybe a percentage symbol after every string, then paste function will be useful. That is it. How to execute line by line? It's control plus enter. Okay, or you can also use this run option at the top. Okay, can I go ahead? Yeah, thanks. Okay, so after you install the package that you want, so I want to look at some built-in datasets that are already available on R. So I am using this library called datasets. So I'll just again control and enter. Okay, will a string always be printed between, will a string always, I just didn't get your question. Can you rephrase your question and ask? Thanks. So, Okay, I would actually like to complete all of this part and then answer questions if that's okay. Okay, some basic questions like how to run and all I will explain, but instead, if you have a different set of questions, I will answer at the end. Okay, because the flow is missing and I might forget to say something which I intended to say in the first place. Okay, so yeah, so you load the package called datasets with this library function, and then this datasets has one thing called air quality. If you want to look at what datasets are, you can also go to help. Yeah, so these are all the different type of datasets that are available in this particular library called datasets. So it's about air passengers and the sales and CO2 and the weights of checks on diet and different things, but instead I am just going to focus on air quality. Okay, so now I'm storing this air quality in a variable called x. Okay, let us look at what exactly x is. So x is a data set, so in that 153 observations are there with 6 variables. Okay, so let's print and see what it is. So this particular uh, keyword head usually gives the first 5 values in that data set. Yeah. So in the data set air quality we have ozone, solar, hour, wind, temperature, month and day. So it's total 6 variables, and in total here we can see 153 observations are made, and it is giving 6. Okay, it is giving all first 6 values, I mean first 6 rows of that data set. So this is just to for us to have a check on what kind of data set we are dealing with. Instead, if you want to use your own data set, you can also import the data set from here. Okay, then let's print x. So here it is giving me all the 150. If I'm just printing x instead of head, I will get all the observations, I mean all the rows. Okay, so total we have 153 observations or 153 rows, and this is the entire data set now we are storing in x. Okay, if I want to plot it, you can have a look at plot documentation before you get started so that it will be easier for you. Okay. So here you can read the description and what kind of uses we can make. It's x. You can give the x and y axis and what type of type, and the x limit, y limit, and what is the x label, y label, and if you want the axis, and etc. etc. Everything you can look at it here, and you can see what kind of arguments you can give as earlier. Okay, all the x limit, y limit, what kind of axis you want, and what kind of frames you want to plot, etc. Okay, so I want to plot two x and y values. So here I want to plot a graph between ozone, this, and month, this. So I'll just run this part between both the columns, and I'm having x as ozone and y as month, and now you can see this is a plot in between both of them. Okay, then I would like to again plot a different thing in between ozone and solar hour, and then I'm getting a different plot, and then I want to look at a plot between ozone and temperature, and then I can look at it. So apart from this is how you deal with a data set. If you want to do some data visualization, this plot function is useful, just like how you use in Python and MATLAB. Okay, is it clear so far? Okay, so oh, okay, sorry, I forgot to mention that. So here x is basically the variable where we are storing the data set, and after this dollar symbol, you are mentioning which column you want to choose. For example, in this x, ozone is one column. Okay, so this basically means that within X dataset, I want to choose this particular column only. So that is why we use this. How to analyze or understand? Yeah, we will get to that as well. So this is basically like the basic operations that I'm telling. So we'll analyze all of this later. Okay, so it's 6:30. You can take a quick 3 to 5 minutes water break, and we can continue it again. Okay, yeah, I'll explain it again after just a 5 minutes break. Okay. Okay, let's start. So I just want to repeat it again. I will share this file in a drive link, and that drive link will be posted to you guys. So you can have a look at it. I will probably open a conversation in forum, and in the forum you can look at that as well. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. I will post this file in drive link, and that drive link will be given to you guys. I'll probably post it on forum. Okay, and in the next class I will shift from Google Meet to probably Teams or something where I can accommodate more than 100 students at once. Okay. The YouTube channel link will also be sent to you guys by NPTEL people. Okay. Okay, you want me to explain that again? Okay. Yeah, I'll try to see in between Zoom and Teams. Okay. Since one of you has asked me to repeat that dollar ka part again, I will just go to that. Hello, is it okay now? Okay. Um, okay, I'll just change the settings. You can have a conversation for 1 minute. Yeah, please ask your questions. You can use your mics now in case if anyone wants to talk directly. Okay. How to import datasets? So you can use two types here. So one, you can take the already available pre-built dataset, inbuilt datasets. Okay, so that is there within this library called datasets. So there, if you look at the documentation of that, you can see all the, I mean, from here. Yeah, I'll prefer either Zoom or Teams. Thanks. So you can look at all the datasets that are available in that particular library and you can take one. So if you want to instead import your own dataset, you can have a look at it here at the environments side. Here you can see the import dataset. Okay, there you can import whichever file you want and then you are good to go. You just have to import that file and you have to assign it to a variable. So here I am assigning air quality dataset to this variable called x. Okay, so uh, yeah, so if I just look at it, these are all the uh, columns that I have. Yes, it is predefined. These are all already existing. So instead of, if you want, instead of air quality, you can also look at different data sets here, like air passengers, BJ sales, BOD. and carbon dioxide uptakes in green plants and etc. Plot function again, yes, I'll come back to it again. Let me finish this part off and I'll go back again. No, ozone is not a data set. Ozone is basically one column in that data set. So if you can see this part here in this console, so just like how you look at an Excel, just like that you see this. Okay, so there is a column name called ozone. In ozone, again you have some different values. Again here, then you have a different column with the name solar R, and then you have some values like that: wind, temperature, month, and day. Like that, you have 6 different columns, and this air quality is a data set, and this data set I'm storing in the variable called as x. Okay, I'm storing air quality data set in x, and then if I just wanted to have a look at all the starting small part of the complete data set, so I have used head function here. Okay, I hope I'm clear so far. Okay, so now if I yeah, so now what I'm doing is I'm declaring the dataset name, so which is x here, and a dollar symbol followed by the column that I want to choose. So if I want to have a plot between x and y, I have to choose one column value as x and one column value as y, right? So for that reason, the first column that I'm choosing is this ozone. Ozone is a column name, and it has 153 observations in that, 153 numbers in that. Okay, so from X dataset, I'm choosing this particular one, and another as Y, I'm choosing it as X. In X dataset, I'm choosing month, this one, as my Y value. Okay, now let me just run that one particular part. Okay, so here you can see from X data type, I am choosing this ozone column as my X axis. Session recording is available. Yes, it is available. It will be available. From X data type data set, I am taking month column as my y-axis, and this is the plot between both of them with respect to the values that both of them have together. Okay, I hope it's clear now. If you want me to repeat the plot again, I can explain. So there is a in which forum you'll post the drive link. There is a forum in NPTEL itself. Let me go there. Sorry. So if you go to the course page in NPTEL, you can have this Q&A session here. Okay, if you click on that, it will take you to a Google Groups discussion forum. Here you will be able to post any questions. Okay, you can post your questions here. I will take it up at the end of every problem solving session. Yeah. Okay. Is it clear so far? Yeah. Thanks. Mm. So similarly, here I'm trying to plot between different y-axis with x-axis fixed, and the recording will be available on YouTube. Okay, that link will also be shared by NPTEL to you guys. Or if that is also not happening, I'll post everything on forum together. A drive link. In the drive link, this R will be there, and also I will be discussing some previous assignments. I will also share that. Yes. Okay. So apart from the dataset, if I want to look at some other wave functions such as cos, sine, all of that, I can also do that. Okay, so this is for cos, sine, exponent, and normal distribution as well. So if you want to look at different kinds of things apart from if you need to look at more plots, you can just go for this documentation of help using question mark plot, and then you will be able to see the different kind of things that you can give as an input. Okay, I hope I'm clear. So then now let's go to vectors. So in the discussion forum, I have seen that people are asking what C is. So basically this C here is going to make all of this 10, 20, 30 different values into one specific, store it in one specific variable. It will be stored in one specific variable. Okay. So if you see here, I'm using vect1 and I'm storing this 10, 20, 30 values in that. So it So all these 10, 20, 30 values to be stored into this vect1 requires C here. It stands for concatenation or combine. And if I want to look at what exactly is there in vect1, then I can simply give it as vect1 instead of giving print again. And if you want to look at what is this, then you can see it is all the values are numeric, so it is going to show you it is numeric. Okay, so in case in later times if you get some questions like this, like what is the C stands for in this particular line, then again you can take the help of the C question mark C, and you can see the values here. So it's basically combining all the values into a vector or a list. Okay, then similarly, initially I was using all the numerical values like 10, 20, 30. Now I'm going for three different characters A, B, and C. Okay, then let's look at what kind of a class it is. Now it is showing its character. So this particular vector class is defined by the values that you are giving within the brackets. Okay, is it clear? Yes, you can use type of as well. Okay. So apart from A, B, C as characters, you can also give Boolean values. Okay. And if you see the class of it, it's logical. Then instead of printing one every time, you can use this function, separate all of them uh, with a semicolon, and then you can print all of them together. Okay. So if you can see here, 10, 20, 30, ABC, true, false, and true. Everything is given at the same time. So now you might ask, okay, this is all okay. If it's some less numbers like 4 or 5, maybe probably 10, I can manually type. But what if I have to have 50 continuous numbers or 100 numbers with two differences of each? Then, uh, then what should I be doing? You might have that question. Then you can use this. So it starts from 1 and a colon 50. So what this basically does is, starting from 1, it will take all the values till 50 and it is going to store in that particular variable. So if I run this, here now vec2 has all the values starting from 1 to 50. So now uh, what will happen in case if I miss C here? Let's see. Then also it is going to give you. Here the values are continuous and the values it itself is going to take. So now you don't have to use the word combine. So instead you can just give it in a straight way. Okay. Then there is another keyword called sequence. So what exactly is sequence? Let's look at it. here. To generate any particular kind of a sequence, you can use this particular keyword called SEQ. So, what are the different types? How can you use it? You can use what from which value to which value you want, and you can also give the length, etc. Okay. Only this works only for sequence, but in case if you are not giving sequence, you have to use C. Okay. Now this is all okay. Now let us say I want to print only even numbers, or a value every all the numbers with a difference of 5 in them. Then what shall we do? Then you can use this sequence function and then give the starting value, ending value, and the differences that you want to take. So here it starts from 0 to 100 with a difference of 5. Let's look at it. So here you go. You get all the values that you require. Okay. So now let us say I want to print all the odd values. Then the same. We'll give it starts from 1 to 100 with a difference of 2. So we are getting all the odd functions. Now for even you have to start with 0. Okay. You have to start with 0 and go till 100 with a difference of 2 each. Okay. Okay. I hope I'm clear so far. Yeah. C means combining all the values here. What is the difference between class and type of? So basically it's going to give you the same output. Okay. Yeah. Apart from that, if you want to be clear on what is what, you can use these keywords called from, by, and the length. So now if you don't want to define what is the end point, you know what is the starting point is, but you don't want to define, or you are not sure what is the end point, then you can use this. So now in this function I want to say from, I want to start from the number 31, and difference I want to give it by 2, and I want total of 20 numbers. So so this is how we do, and let's print. So it is giving me all the odd values from the number 31. I'm going to get 20 such numbers in this. Okay. Number odd. Okay. Now I got total 20 numbers in this one. Why the first numbers are written within square brackets? I'm not sure which one you are referring to, but there are no square brackets here. Okay. Okay. I hope I'm clear so far. I'll just have 2 minutes for any more questions. In console. Oh, this is just the line number. So these are the outputs for you. Okay. These values are outputs. How just get determined automatically? So basically everything has a default values already stored in the particular function. So based on the default functions, everything is taken. Until and unless you specify something, it is going to take the default values. What is the use of head function? So head function is going to print the first 5 or 6 columns from that particular data set. How can we change values of any data? You can change it, you can automatically reassign, so that is also there. We'll go to that one as well. Okay, but in case if you are in a hurry, you can also look at the documentation that is there from the uh, week 1 or the pre-tutorial lecture notes. I'll show that to you. Yeah, pre-course material. You can have a look at the pre-course material to see how to change the values and everything. So that is already there. But in case, I'll also go through that as well. Starting index of a row. Okay, I'll clear it out here. So here, mm, let's take these numbers itself. It will be easier. So in this vector, when I'm taking a sequence, all of them are like I'm having 22 numbers. Okay. So these all 22 are different parts. So this first particular thing is going to indicate, okay, now 22 are over. Now this is going to start the 23rd part of this, I mean, of this vector. Okay. But in case if I'm just using in so if I'm using this combined value here, then all of this is going to be stored in one particular in okay, how to say this. So this is basically the index of the first value which is going to be here. Okay. I hope that is clear. Can we change what is okay? Here by means the difference by how many values. Uh, where is it? Here. So if you look at this particular code, we are starting from 31, and with a difference of 2, we are going to print all the values in the sequence. Indexing starts from 0 in Python. Okay, so let's go back to the course again. Okay, this by here refers to the difference value. Okay, so now we'll name our vector. So far we are having some values. We are saving those values in a particular vector with just the numbers. So what if I want to name some of the vectors? So let us see it that way. Okay. Let's go to numeric vector. I'm taking all the values starting from 1 to 5. Okay. So from 1 to 5 I have created a vector. If I print it, I get it like 0, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So let us name let us have some names to this particular vector. Let us have names to this particular vector. Okay. So now I'm giving the names as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in words. So let's print it now. Okay, as you can see here, another row has been added, and it is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of these strings as the column names, and then I have the column as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from this particular vector. Okay. So that is one way of naming the vectors. Instead, you can also use another one. So let us say here I am going to declare two variables. So one variable is specifically only for the column names, and one variable as the values that I want to have in that particular vector. And then I can go for names and the vector name and the column names that I want to have. So the column names, the column, and assigning that those column names to the vector, and then I can print it. So both of them are going to give me the same values. Okay. Yeah. So if you are having some small variation questions in whatever I'm showing right now, why don't you guys try it on your own and you can actually see it's pretty much printing values. So it's easy to do it. Okay. Uh, yeah. Then let's go for some basic operation on vectors. So we have, let's take one vector called numeric vector, and we'll just take it from the values 1 to 5. Now if I want to add 10 value to all the 5 values which are stored in the vector, then I can just give the vector name plus 10. Okay. Uh, then as you can see here, yeah, all the values are printed like 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 10 is added directly to all of them. So let us see the same for a subtract value as well. So result subtract, and you can take the vector minus 3 and same. So 1 minus 3 minus 2, 2 minus 3 is minus 1, 3 minus 3 is 0, 4 minus 3 1, 5 minus 3 is 2. So you can see all the subtracted values. So the same goes for multiplication as well. So let's take our column and then you multiply it with 2, and yes, here you can see. So initially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 has changed to 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. And the same goes for division. Okay, let's divide and you will find the double values like this. Okay, so far good. Uh, um, if you want to try some new things, please do it on your own. Any questions? Okay, I hope there are no questions. So I'll just continue everything. Yeah. So, okay, some more examples I want to take for between two vectors, and I want to define two numeric vectors for that. Can we get this software? It's 7. If anyone wants to take a 5 to 10 minute break, feel free to take. I'll hold the content for some time. You can take a break and you can come back. You can download the software from here. Okay, you have to install R first and then go to R Studios. Okay, setup guide is already available on NPTEL course itself. So if you are having any questions from that, you can have the look at the setup guide and you will be able to understand. Okay, in case if you are having problem again in that, you can post it on forum and I can help you, or you can stay back after the class is done. I will help with that as well. Okay. If anyone wants to take a break, you can take a break. I'll wait for till 7:10. I'll wait for some more time. Meanwhile, if you're having any in general questions, like having some problem with installing R or R Studios, I can help with that as well. In meanwhile, or anything if you want to know about the forum or some might. Some might actually need break, so that is the only reason I usually stop in between. So we'll go through some of the codes late next. Okay, it's basically basic operations only. So once we are done with the basic operations, then I'll share some. We can discuss some previous year assignments, And yeah, that's pretty much all we are going to cover today, because most of the stuff is already covered in the the lectures. So ma'am, our main exam contains questions from prerequisites. I'm not sure of that. I'll ask and I'll get back to you. Okay. Actually, in my opinion, prerequisites are like basic. So, if you are doing advanced at one point, you will be familiar with all the prerequisite part. So, it's anyways okay. Do we get a recording link for this class? Yes, recording will be there. This video will be posted, this recording will be posted on a YouTube channel, and from sorry, I have to show this as well. Okay, the recording will be posted in the YouTube channel, and I will create in the forum. I will write a mail to all of you guys. I'll add the YouTube channel link, and I will also share the basic operations R code as well. And I have prepared some slides to discuss some other part. So I will do that. I'll share that in the drive link as well. So all of these will be shared with you. Okay. Will the final exam be difficult or straight? The final exam will be in the hands of professors. So I can't really say anything on that. See, so basically it is combining all the values that you are given within the brackets as one. It is going to save all of those values in one particular variable. So it is basically combining all the values. That is how C works. Okay, if you want to read more documentation on that, run this. You can run $C in console. Okay, you will get the entire documentation only on C, and you will be able to understand it much clearer. Okay. Well, I'm a PhD student, and I'm also a Prime Minister Research Fellow. I'm currently at IISc Bangalore. So basically, PMRF is a fellowship wherein we have some monthly stipend, and we also have to do some external TA ships apart from the TA ships that we do in our campus. And we also have some research grants and all of that to help us academically and in terms of research. Dream college. Yeah, I bet it's dream college for many of us. It was mine also at one point. Is it hard to get in? It actually depends. Okay. So it's 7:10. So let's get back to the content. Okay. Okay. This. Hmm. So let's cover some more examples, some more operations between two vectors. So far we have taken one particular vector, and we have done some arithmetic operations on one particular vector. So now let's take two vectors, both of same size, and then let's go ahead and see what is going to happen. Okay. So here I am taking two vectors, vector 1, vector 2, starting from 1 to 5 and 5 to 1 respectively. Okay, so let us add both of them. It's just simple addition, vector 1 plus vector 2, and let's print what we are going to get. So all of these values are going to give us 6. Sorry. So the same goes for subtraction. Uh, so in this one, what are we going to do is we are minusing from vector 1, we are subtracting minus 2. So 1 minus 5 is 1 minus 5 is minus 4, 2 minus 4 is minus 2, 3 minus 3 is 0, 4 minus 2 2, and 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay, and then let's check for multiplication. Before I show this, what are you guys expecting? So is it going to multiply each and every element with other, or is it going to multiply one value with all the 5 values? Again, one value with all the other 5 values. What are you expecting it to happen? Let's just have it like option 1 and 2. Option 1 is element wise multiplication. Option 2 is multiplication of each number with all the 5 values. Option 2, option 1, option 2, option 1. Okay. Oh, okay, great. So let's print and see. So it's basically option 2, sorry, option 1. It is going to do element wise operation. So it's 1 into 5, 5, 2 into 4, 8, 3 into 3, 9, 4 into 2, 8, and 5 into 1, 5. Okay, it's option 1. So basically this is going to do element wise operation only. Okay, the same goes for division as well. Okay, let's divide, and it is going to divide the first vector by the second vector element wise, and the same goes for exponent as well. Okay, so let's do some comparison. So is vector 1 greater than vector 2? So it is going to give me a true or false statement. So if vector 1 is greater than vector 2, then what is it? So let's print the values here again. So okay, this is just for our reference. So is vector in the first element, is vector 1 greater than vector 2? No, right? So it is going to give me a false statement. Is vector 2 greater than vector 1 greater than vector 2 in element 2? No. So it's a false. Is vector 1 greater than vector 2 in third element? It's a false. But at the fourth and the fifth one, the vector 1 is actually greater than vector 2. So we are getting true statements out. Okay. So similarly, you can also check for equal to and less than or less than equal to and all of them. Okay. So then this is all okay. Now let us look at the absolute difference. Element in okay, we'll try that as well. We'll cover this and we'll do the same. We'll take the same vectors and we'll add one more value and we can check it. Okay. So let's take the absolute difference between them. And initially, if we are taking difference, we are having minus values here and then positive values here, negatives and positives. But if we are using absolute, we are going to get all the positive values only. Okay, and this is element wise equality check. So checking if both the elements are equal or not. So as we all know, only the third element is equal to each other. So only one true and rest are false statements. And inequality check as well. And I hope all are familiar with this equality assignments like equal and I mean equality operators. Equal, not equal to, less than or equal to. I hope all are clear with that one. Yeah. So element wise inequality. So except the third one, all of them should be true. Okay. And the same goes for logical as well. So we have all the end operator or operator. Let's check if vector 1 is greater than 2 and vector 2 is less than 4. Both should be there. Then what is it? So in the first case, vector 1 greater than 2. In vector 1, both the first ones are less than 2. So in the first one, it is false directly. And vector 2 is less than 4. In vector 2 less than 4, this should have okay. So the same goes for or as well. So we are going to look at all the values where vector 1 is less than 2 and vector 2 is greater than 4, and then if one of them is true, then we are going to get a true statement, else we are going to get a false statement. 2 and 4 is just a number. Okay, 2 and 4 are just numbers that is taken. No, it's just numbers. Yes, I am repeating it again. All of this will be shared. Just the absolute part, please explain again. So, absolute is basically even if you're going to get a negative number as an output, when you subtract one number with another, for example, 2 minus 4, it is going to give me minus 2. But if I put an absolute for minus 2, then it is going to give me a value as 2 only. So it is going to give me the magnitude of that number, but not the positive or negative. Okay. uh, all of these will be shared with you guys, all the source, everything will be shared. Data sets, it is an inbuilt dataset library that I'm using. Datasets is not a file that I have, it is already inbuilt. Okay, absolute code, yes, sure. Okay. System programming, okay. I'll get back to all the questions at the end. Okay, we are running out of time again. Okay, so is it clear so far till here? General questions will be answered later. So far within this content, is it clear or not? Every element in the it will compare it will compare every element in the vector, right? In logical, yes, it is going to compare every element in the vector of that particular index. If the first it is all element wise operations in this. Okay, so then we can also take the sum of all the values in one vector, and we can also take the standard deviations and vary and this is for variance, and take the product of all the vectors, getting the maximum value in that particular vector, getting the minimum value in that particular vector. So these are the keywords that you have to use. Okay, sum for adding up all the values in that vector, SD for standard deviation, VAR for variance, PROD for product of the vectors, max and min. Okay, then yes, let's go for vector slicing and indexing. Let us take a sequence, okay, starting from 200, 50 till 200 with a difference of 20 each. Okay, I've taken it, and now let's get the values out. So 50, 70, 90, all of that you understand. Okay, now let's see the length of it. So now we have the length as 8. So in V1 we are having total 8 values. Let us name all of these all of these element as a column name. Okay, pace 0. So pace 0 means there won't be uh, any spacing between two uh, strings or values. Okay, space 0, this is just a character, and I'm saying 1 to L. L means the length of that vector. So in this case it is 8. Okay, so let us run it and we'll see what it is. Okay, now I'm having this column names for all the values. Okay, P1 for 50, P2 for 70, so far, so till P8 for 190. Okay, is this part clear, or do you want me to explain it again? Okay, cool. So now let's look at the indexing of these. So if I look at the index value of 3, so which one do you think it is? Like, am I going to get 90 or 110? If I call the index of 3, am I going to get 90 or 110? 90, 90, 90. Awesome. Okay. Oh, 899 out of syllabus. Okay. Okay, let us see. Okay, so we are getting 90. So in R, unlike in Python, so in R, what happens is the indexing starts from 1 rather than 0. So that is how this is going to go. So this is 1, 2, and 3. So the third index is at 90. Okay, so it is giving me an output of 90. Okay, so this is okay. Now if I want to have from not just one particular index value, but I want a continuous index values, then what should I do? Then I'll give 3 till whichever value I want. So let if I want the third and the fourth index to be present, I'll just give v1 open bracket 3 colon 4. Then I'm getting the p3 and the p4 values. Okay. Then if I want to have all the elements from 1 to 4. Okay, sorry, 1 and 4. Then I'm going to combine those two values and I'm going to print it together. So let us also see what will happen if I'm going to remove this C. Okay, just out of curiosity. It is giving me an error. Remove this as well and see. Incorrect number of dimensions. Okay, so we generally use this combine functions so that we don't have such errors. Instead, we'll take two values from two different indexes, store both of them, combine both of them together, and then print it as one particular value. Okay, and then if you want to have values from two different indices, 2 and 6, then you have to do this similarly. You just have to give the index values as 2 and 6, and you get p2 and p6 values. Okay, so this is okay. Now if I want to exclude a position, what should I do? So v1 I am giving -2. So this minus, unlike in Python what happens is if I give -1 or -2, it is going to take from the backside, right? So instead in this minus here refers to something else called as exclusion. So it is going to exclude the value in that particular position or the index. So when I gave -2 here, if you can observe here, P2 and the P2 value, both of them are removed. Okay, now let us say it like C -2 to -5. So -2 and -5, both of them will be removed if I'm giving this as an output. Okay, uh, similarly if I want to do for more of those values, I can give as many as I want. Okay, to see if it is intact or not. And also, since I'm not storing this value in v1 again, this is not removing it entirely. Okay, for this just as an echo, it is showing you in the console. If you do -2, this is what is going to happen. But in case if I give it as v1, if I store the value into this, then it is going to erase off this v2 entirely from v1, okay, which I don't want to happen, so I'm not going to assign the value there. Okay, is this similar to data frame? V1 is basically the column name. Okay, okay, then let's use some comparison operator as well. Okay, so now v1 of v1 greater than 100. So in this what is happening is all the values which are greater than 100 will be printed. Okay, similarly if you give less than, it is going to give you all the values which are less than 100. Okay, and let us apply. You can do it in another way as well. You can you can declare a variable filter, and you can give what is the comparison you want to do. So v1 greater than 100 into filter, and then call the filter, give the filter as an argument in v1, and it is going to give you the same outputs. Okay, uh, so far this is everything for basic operators. And if you want to clear the console, there are three ways. You can, sorry, you can either give this, or if you can see here, there is a brush symbol at the end, right top of the console. You can click on that. Usually it is not that greatly visible. You can click on that, or you can use Ctrl L operator to clear out the entire console. Similarly, for plot also, you have a brush symbol here to clear off all the plots. It will ask you again if you are okay with it, then yes. And in environment also you have that. So once you clear from the environment, all the objects will be cleared and nothing will be saved. Okay. mm, so yeah, I was telling that I will also try if two values are not equal, right? Let's do what will happen. Okay, in vector 1 now I am having 6 values. In vector 2 I have 5 values in total. Okay, if I add both, then I'm getting a warning message that both of them are not equal. One is shorter than the other. Okay, so for all of these operations to happen between two vectors, I definitely need to have both of them at the same length. Okay, clear? Any questions in basic operations so far? Yeah, good. Just hold on a second. Okay. To clear the console, you have to click on Ctrl L, or you can find a brush symbol at the bottom here. Okay. seal is there. Yes. As you can see here, the ones which you are asking are available. Okay, ceiling, floor, um, round, and other things. You can actually play around with it with this question mark symbol, or if you don't remember, you can just put on help and then give the and just give the command there, and you will be able to see if you have any doubts if this is available or not available. Okay. Okay. So yes, just 1 second. Okay, so let's go back. So let's look at some example questions. So this is something that you guys can actually guess by yourselves. So if you have gone through the pre-course material, you should be able to answer. What do you think it is? Question 1. A, C, D. Okay. Okay. It can have multiple options, and please read the word invalid. Okay. Which of the variable names are invalid? Okay. Okay. So the answers are A, B, and C. So in R, you should have the values starting with a variable, and underscore and full stop are the only special characters which can be used. Underscore and full stop. And here, as you can see, alpha is there, which is not used, which is not which should not be used. And then you cannot initialize with an underscore. You have to use only alphabet, and you can also not use a numeric value. Okay. So the function ls in R will do what? So this is similar to Ubuntu. In case if anyone is using Ubuntu, this will be easier for you to answer. Yeah, it is going to list all the objects in the working directory, that working environment that we are in. Okay, you can also try that. Okay, so this should be pretty fun. Which of the following commands will give you the will print the value sham? So sham is here. So this is a list. So look at it clearly. Sorry for that. Am I audible and visible? Okay, I'm sorry. So I basically missed all the messages here. So okay, if you can again tell what kind of answers you're thinking, so that would be great. A and C. Okay. Let's have a look at it then. So the answer is C. So I have seen that one person has thought that A and C are the answers, but have a closer look at the square brackets. Okay, so this is basically a list. So you have to tell which one you want to choose first. So is it the ID or the patient number or the uh, number dot patient? Okay. Only then, so here the first three indicates patient name, which is given in double square brackets, and within patient name, what you want to choose, which is the second index, which goes to Shyam. So the correct answer is C. Okay. So yeah, this right side one, uh, the previous code along with this for two for loops. Which one do you think is the right answer? B. Okay. Yeah. So basically B is the right answer for that. Yeah, okay. I'll explain. By 8 I have to wind this up. So I'll come back to that. Okay. I'll explain it clearly. So what is the output of the following code? So what do you guys think this code is going to give me? Double. Okay. So it's going to give me a double value. You can see this. State whether the given statement is true or false. The library reshape2 is based around two key functions. Okay, I don't think this is shared. I mean, this thought. Yeah. So you can actually look up about this reshape2 in the help section, and you will be able to read about it more. Okay. So the matrix is something that I haven't covered in my session, but it is there in the pre-course material. Okay. So here is the explanation that I have written. So all the values 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then you take the third one with the second part. So 2 is going to be there. Okay. I think this is the last one. So what is the command to check if a value is of a numeric data type or not? So it is numeric. If you want to look at alphanumeric, you can also have that as well. Alphabet also has one. Okay. Is basically asking the question, is it true or false? Okay. So these are all the questions. Okay. I'll just stop presenting here. I'll just go through some of the forum questions quickly, but before I go there, do you guys have any more questions here? Let's go to sorry, discussion forum. Evening. Prerequisite material is shared. Done. So if you are using a 64-bit PC, then you take a 64-bit one. But in case if you want to go for 32, then it's okay. So let's play this. Let me scroll. Okay, I will post this one again in case if any one of you have missed. So some of them are already answered. So I don't think there are any practice question papers for the exam. Go through all the assignments clearly, okay? Um, so once you are clear with that, then we can, and also look at if you are done with this course, then there are some courses that are there as course recommendations. I'll just share my entire screen. Where to access that? Okay, the forum. So once you open the Swayam portal page, the NPTEL course page, at the top you find all of these, right? You have this question and answer part. Go to the question and answer part. It will direct you to this Google Conversations. Okay. So once you are able to go there, then you will be able to uh, do anything. Okay. You can start any new conversation there itself. Okay. In case if you're not able to find any lecture numbers, you just have to refresh and check for your internet connections. All of them are posted if you see. Okay, all of them are there. So if you are not able to see, it's maybe probably the page has not been loaded properly or something like that. So week 2 is also posted now, so you can have a look at it. I'm trying to read the next one. Okay. So how to install R? Can you guys raise your hands if you are facing any issues installing R Studio and using R? Jivita? Okay. Okay. So I'll stay back for some more time. I hope this C part is clear now. So it's basically combining the values. Where can we? Uh, where can we have practice problems for final exams? As I was saying earlier, no, you will not find the practice problems for final exams, but go through all your assignments clearly and go through all the course recommendations which are there. Course recommendations are there, and also So which basically look at the assignment problems. That is all I can say. Okay, go through the whatever was taught in the class. All of that, if you look at that, is 90% enough for the course. Okay. So whatever courses I have taken previously, at least as a student, not as a TA, but as a student, I was able to finish off everything just with assignments and the lecture notes itself. So that itself was sufficient. Okay. Which one is it? Okay. So these all are the pretty basic questions. Um, so for that last question, let's try it on R itself and see what is happening. So is that okay with everyone for this question? ID equal to C of 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I just give the names? So now I have all the 4 variables with me. So I have the list, the final one is the list. So 3 variables and the list that contains all the values. So let's just print this first. Okay. So now I have one value as 4, the next one as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I have 4 different names, right? Let us just see what is patient list of 1 only. Okay. I'm just getting the value 4, right? Because I'm I'm just accessing the first part, of this part. This first part only I'm accessing, right? So for I in patient list, let's give that. So for I in patient list of 1, let us print I and see what is going to happen. Okay, then it just straight away gave me 10. Okay. Yeah, so I is basically giving me only 4. Okay. So now the I value is equal to 4 here. So for, let us say, j in I, and then print j, then what am I going to get? I'm getting the value as 4, right? So this is basically happening because the I is having only one value in it, that is 4 as the option, because I'm taking patient list of first one, so which is 4. So I in 4 only, it is not starting from 0 to 4, but instead it is taking only the value 4 as the input. And the same goes for j in I. Okay, so since I is equal to 4, j is also going to be 4, and it is printing the value 4. Okay, I hope it is clear. I know it is a bit complex, but yeah. The percentage we printed in the final certificate. Yes, the percentage will be printed. And then how can I get input out? Let's do one thing. Let's say equal to, let's just take 3 percentage 7. Okay. If you can see here, I'm getting for this modulus itself, if I'm taking the modulus, directly I am getting the type itself as A. Okay, so why is that happening? Let us have a look at it here. So basically this is going to give us only, so if you are dividing 3 by 7 and you are expecting some remainder, you are supposed to get a remainder of 0, but rather you are getting a remainder here as 3, which is after the decimal point. Okay, so in general it is going to take the decimal, the type as double, and it is giving you the value of double. Okay, so an integer you are adding with a data type of double, so it is going to round off everything to double. Okay. Okay, so if I want 10, I'm getting the value 13. Can you change the patient list with ID? Sure. It is giving the value 1. So you can, so the problem is everything here. You are only accessing the first value in that particular thing here. Okay, you are just accessing the first value but not the entire thing. So if you are removing this, then probably you will have multiple values. Okay. Any more questions? We got 3 minutes left. In case if you guys have more questions, then okay, I think it's probably better if I allot the rest of the time for people who are facing problem with the software, downloading the software and installing the software. So if you have no problems with your installations and downloading our studios and stuff, then you are good to go. And yeah, also I'll open the forum. I'll post everything there. And in case if you want me to cover any more other topics in the upcoming sessions at some point, then please write in the same conversation itself so that I can follow up with you guys. Okay. Okay. So if you have no other queries, thanks for joining. in case if you are having any problem with the installations, please stay back so I can. Will it affect the learning process? No, it will not affect any learning process. The recording will be available. We will share it, and I'll change from Google Meet to Zoom or Teams, and from next time we'll have a different one so that I'll be able to accommodate more than 100 students. I think the test is only for once. So if you are not able to get a good percentage now, again you have to take it up whenever this course is offered. Okay, so that is basically what I felt like when I was a student taking NPTEL courses instead of being a TA. So I was covering the assignments and the transcripts that were available, the textbook that was there, and yeah, pretty much the lecture notes, textbook, and assignments. Those are all I have covered as a student. Okay, who took a course up, I was doing that. This session recording will be posted on YouTube, and that YouTube channel link will be shared with everyone. I had some problems in between, so it is a cut video, so I have to merge all of them together. So it will take some time, but I'll share it with everybody. Okay, please don't think that I will not share, but I'll definitely share. I'm not sure about the exams. Okay. Good day to you too. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining. So in case if you are having any installation issues, you can unmute your microphones and you can talk to me. Thank you. The assignments itself are not enough for the exam. You really have to go through the lecture notes as well. Jivika, I think you are having some installation issues, right? Maybe you can share your screen or explain your query clearly so that I can help you out.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you
Namaste.
very much. Namaste. Jivika, do you have any problems with the installation? Please unmute your mic and talk. Okay. Then any more questions, anybody? If you are not having any problems with installations and stuff. Okay, thank you all. I'll be ending the session here. Thanks a lot for joining.